I was amazed that the winner of this national search for a new visual identity program for Wichita State was how many, 15 blocks down the road?
Yeah.
And since then, I think there's just been a tremendous relationship built that continues to this day. And the fact that Wichita State is your alma mater, and I know your heart is in it, that made a big difference.
The journey toward a purposeful brand is hard work and fraught with misled travelers. But being clear about who you are is at the very center of branding. Welcome to Brandifesto, hosted by Gardner Design. We've helped hundreds of clients refocus and get straight to the point. In each episode, our team will dispel common branding fears and share firsthand experiences so you can find your own brand voice, avoid critical missteps, and build a brand worth standing for.
Here with Barth Hague, who was the Chief Marketing Officer at Wichita State University at the time that we took on a monumental task of not only rebranding the university from a visual standpoint and setting the tone of voice and the likes, but also in giving Barth a tool that he had needed for the longest time. We're going to be talking about the standards that were ultimately developed as part of this project. But you so beautifully tell the story about what happens when people would come in and ask you if they could do something.
Well, I had worked in organizations before doing these kinds of things. Where visual standards were existed, and people followed them. And I would, when I arrived at Wichita State, fairly quickly in the process discovered that none of that exists. There are multiple logos throughout this company and multiple approaches to graphic design. And our office was essentially the ad agency or the marketing agency for the whole university. So we would have, the Department of Anthropology might come and say, hey, we need help with this project. And the question would be asked, what are the rules? Well, there are no rules, so you can do whatever you want. So that was how we approached the visual identity part of our marketing program historically at Wichita State, and certainly when I was there. And it was very clear moving forward that if we were going to build any kind of consistency in terms of how this is done, we're going to need some rules for the road.
So getting into this project, and we're at Wichita State University, which is my alma mater. There were two different logos. There was they both were the WSU, and they both had wheat. One was academic, one was athletic. We ended up kind of merging them together, and that was a process that we'll talk about in another gathering. But really, the thing that you were most concerned about in some ways was about this idea of building consistency in the brand. And we tell clients all the time that that's what branding is developing clarity and consistency.
Well, and I come at it, Bill, as not as a designer, but as a marketing executive. I think it very dollars and cents, black and white terms about this stuff. And for an organization to invest anything in a visual identity like a logo, without consistency, you're throwing your money away. And so for us, I knew from prior experience that we needed this consistent roadmap for how to manage this going forward. Plus, I wanted it codified to some degree so that I could say to the director of the Department of Anthropology, no, we can't do it that way, but we can do it this way. And the visual identity program that was developed along with our new image and so forth, that really was the key to making this work at Wichita State.
And the fact that you had not had a set of standards was an anathema to me. I was, when you start to think about the university, I have no idea how many different people have the authority to create all of the folderol that gets created as part of the marketing. I mean, you've got a marketing department, you've got a communication department. Each one of the university's colleges has individuals designing their own thing.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, when you start to think about the image that Wichita State University or any organization projects, boy, that's just a worst case scenario.
It is. Our website, when I arrived at Wichita State, was a great case in point. Now, this was early in the world of websites, but we had a website. There was very little depth to it, if you understand what I'm talking about.
The side of the computer.
we did. Yeah, we had a squirrel.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
But one of the challenges we had was that the home page of our website was just a mess of information, and there were tons of links and so forth. Well, only to discover that the marketing department over time had just basically given up. And if you would come to us and say, "Hey, I want my program's link to be on the homepage," you'd get it.
Yeah.
And so those were rules that had to be reset, rethought completely, and probably was in some ways the toughest sell. But I think most of the organizations within the university setting quickly understood the value of it.
Yeah.
So we were able to pull it off.
You know, when we talk about consistency within a brand, part of the thinking here is that the consumer, that audience that you're speaking to, makes a lot of assumptions. Mm-hmm. And when they look at the website and it doesn't look like the signage on campus, and it doesn't look like the catalog of courses, and it doesn't look like, you know, the wayfinding, all of these things gather back here in the back of their mind. And they start to make associations with consistency, and they go, boy, you know, if this is this inconsistent here, then am I going to get a professor that shows up when he says he's going to show up? Am I going to get the education that I said I'm signing up for? So all of these things are impressions that.
Well, they are, and I think your point that an audience's perspective, an outsider's perspective looking in, is key. My marketing professor at University of Notre Dame had a great definition for marketing. He said, "Marketing is the business of getting and keeping customers." Yeah. Now, in my world at Wichita State, marketing was the business of getting and keeping students.
Sure,
that was our bread and butter.
Yeah.
Prospective students had to recognize this is Wichita State. This is all Wichita State, rather than this fractured mess that it had been. It becomes a dollars and cents decision that you have to make. Do you want more customers or not? Do you want more sales or not? I mean, that's really from a university perspective what it boils down to.
Universities and students are good.
Yeah, I agree. More the better.
You know, the thing that you think about when you think about standards is it tells me how to use my logo. But the thing about a set of standards is that a logo is not a brand. You know, there are so many things that are involved in that brand, from your colors and your typography and the fonts that you use and the way that you're using them, the textures, the patterns, the colors, the illustration style, the photography. All of these things end up coming together to create that group of DNA, if you will, that you can build from. And as long as you continue to build from that group of elements, you will have that level of consistency in there. And I'm recalling when we came on campus after we had developed the brand and we started developing the signage on campus, that one of the things that happened was we elected to really press the yellow button. Before, on Wichita State's campus, you very seldom saw much yellow, and there was a lot of yellow in there, and it was happening at a time when there was kind of a resurgence in enthusiasm of the students coming onto the campus, and they kind of bought into this, and part of it's because there was some consistency that was starting to happen on campus, and there was a voice that they could chime into.
Right. Well, I agree. I have told the story before, but with a previous employer who, a fairly large corporation, I was vice president of marketing, and we went through a similar kind of process. And we brought in an outside design firm to help us develop a new logo, new standards. and that got rolled out. That one of my chief opponents of this was our own art director, whose response was, "You're limiting my creative ability. You're giving me these standards that don't allow me to use any font I want, any color I want, and therefore I can't be as creative." And the design consultant who we were working with on this had a great response. He said to him, "We're not trying to limit you. What we're trying to do is set some boundaries within what you're doing so that your creativity doesn't go this way. It should go this way. You should be more creative within these boundaries." And he left. But the folks who were in the organization, and I think Wichita State has done this well over time too, they've been very creative within that framework, if you will, of design standards that allow us to maintain that level of consistency.
Yeah. You know, the other factor that really works in here, and especially that is a enthusiastic component for the CFO of any organization, is it a cost savings?
Well,
I mean,
over time, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It
I mean,
really
you're
is.
making an investment in this, but if you're not reinventing the wheel every time you do something, if you are starting to produce things in quantities that can start to bring down costs, if people have a single point of recognition of you visually, I mean, all of these things ultimately are huge cost savings for an
It is.
organization.
I mean, just think of paper, for example.
Yep.
There's an economy of scale just in terms of being able to mass produce things now that share the same look.
Yep.
And bring costs down per piece than we ever could have before. But I think I do believe you're right with a great visual identity program with standards built around that. It gives an organization a much better chance of seeing a return on investment early.
Yeah, it really does. Yeah. And I think Wichita State is such a prime example of that when you start to take a look, and it was during your tenure there, Barth, that I really do see that there was such a tremendous level of enthusiasm that started to rise amongst the students where they were proudly wearing the logo, proudly wearing the gear, proudly, associating with the university. And
remarkably too, faculty and staff.
Yes.
I didn't think we'd ever get to that point.
Yeah.
It's hard in a college setting or a university setting like that to win faculty over to anything. But I'd say the majority, certainly not all, but the majority of them were also on board with what we were doing.
Yeah. I look at the campus now, and with the expansion, I mean, it's doubled its size.
It has.
In the last several years, with enormous building and construction and plans going on out there, new buildings and the likes. And as I drive by the buildings and I see the mark that you led our team through, as I take a look at all the new signage, as I take a look at all the materials coming off that campus, it's a tremendous legacy to you and
I appreciate
to your
that.
department for guiding us through this.
Well, Bill, it was a team effort, and I remember the day when we of course we're a state agency, right? So we have to run through this very big purchasing process with RFPs and a national search, and I was amazed that the winner of this national search for a new visual identity program for Wichita State was 15 blocks down the road. And since then, I think there's just been a tremendous relationship built that continues to this day. And the fact that Wichita State is your alma mater, and I know your heart is in it, that made a big difference too.
Hey, thank you.
You bet. Thank you so much.
You bet.